Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Today, we are diving into a fascinating world of how the mentions of artificial intelligence in corporate communications are impacting the stock price movements. We are going to look at two very important stocks, Apple and AMD. And we are going to explore if there's a correlation between the stock price movements and the number of times these companies mention the AI or artificial intelligence or words similar to that, like machine learning, deep learning, in their earning calls. And I wanted to see whether there's a pattern between the counts and the stock price movement. Our research question is pretty straightforward. Does talking about AI influence the stock price movement or not? As AI continues to grow and drive the innovation in the tech industry, it's very essential for us to understand how investor sentiments really shift with AI related discussions during earning calls. Specifically, we look at the data from 2022 and 2023 and see if there's a noticeable pattern. Why is this really important? Because the insights from the study can help investor, can help you to make an informed decision about whether this company is really focusing on AI or not. Or you could also get an estimate whether the stock price are going to go up or not. So let's go ahead and dive deep into this discussion. Here's a first plot that talks about the patterns of AMD. AMD is pretty popular chip maker. It's a competitor of Nvidia. And what you see is in the year 2022, there is hardly any mentions of AI compared to 2023. So 17 in the first quarter, 14 times in the second quarter, just 3 times in the third quarter. But come 2023, there's a drastic day and night difference. They realize the importance of AI, the focus, the renewed focus on AI of the whole industry. ChatGPT and Gemini just focusing on AI and lots of chips being sold. They really found their holy grail. So come 2023, 49 times in the first quarter, 55 times in the second quarter, 64 times. And then finally in the last quarter last year, it's 55 times. Now let's look at the similar graph for Apple stock. They were not at all in the game of AI until 2022. They've started talking about AI in the year 2022 in the first quarter, then they kind of skipped it. They didn't have any mentions in second quarter, third quarter. Finally, fourth quarter, they touched base like just one time talking about artificial intelligence. And come 2023, there is a renewed focus. They realize that's the whole game, that's the whole industry about, that's the future. They started talking this about AI. They talked about AI 5 times, then they talked about AI again 5 times in their second quarter. Then come third quarter, 11 times, 13 times. See their renewed focus. Now there are reports that they're even making their AI chip. That's what is going to drive the market of the future. Let's look at another chart. As you see the increase in the AI mentions of AMD stock, the price seemed to be increasing. As the number of AI mentions go up, the price increases. As it comes down, the price goes down. And this relation is becoming more pertinent. Investors and the companies, they have realized talking about AI is the whole game. Not just talking, but inventing, innovating, focusing on AI, making AI chips, making AI softwares, products. There's a whole new industry that's coming up in front of you. And that's what is driving the stock prices, in my view. Note that this is not an investment advice, guys. That's just some patterns that I observed while working with Tableau software. So another stock that we are looking now is Apple. I can see very similar patterns. No, not much correlation in the year 2022, but come 2023, the stock price goes up as the AI mentions goes up. Investors are valuing something there. They see AI. Again, that's not an investment advice. Now I'm going to show you another plot here that talks about the AI mentions. It talks about the volume of the stock prices. There's not much pattern between volume and AI mentions. These bars are the indication of the prices, not the volume. The line chart is showing us the volume actually, and I don't see much correlation. It's coming down as the AI mentions are increasing. So I don't see much of a linear relation between AI mention and the volume, but I do see the stock price going up. What it tells what it tells people that as the number of AI mentions are increasing, people are simply buying it. Even if there are less stocks available in the market, they're buying it at higher prices. They're buying it at higher prices. Less volume is being transacted, but more value is being associated with the stocks. And I do see similar patterns even with Apple stock. Very similar patterns. Volume is coming down, prices are going up. And here's the comparison chart of AMD and Apple. In the first quarter of 2022, AMD mentioned about AI roughly 70 times. But Apple, on the other hand, just touched base on the first quarter and the fourth quarter of 2022. That's the game, guys. I hope you learned something new. Thank you and have a good one.